Ladies and gentlemen, I'm finally biting the bullet and changing the tactic. Hello and welcome to part 99 of Backing the Boro. I'm Kev, and coming up on today's episode we have 2 home games, the start of 3 consecutive home games in the league. We need some big results here. Problem is they're against teams, apart from Rochdale, teams that we're going to lose against. So we're at home against top of the table West Brom, but then relegation threatened Rochdale. They're one of only 2 teams in the league below us in the table at the moment, so we should win the second of today's 2 matches. If we don't, we're in real trouble. And we're kind of in trouble anyway, because we're now 12 games into the season and we find ourselves still in the relegation zone, still not hitting the KEV ratio. 12 games in, 9 points on the board. We've conceded 42 goals in 12 games. We've also scored 24 goals. So we've scored, if we sort according to who's scored the most goals, we've scored the 4th most goals in the division. Going forward, we still don't have any problems. We're a good goal scoring team. Problem is, we've conceded so many more goals than every other team in the division. And our results seem to come in little fits of double wins, although that one was a friendly, so that doesn't really count. But we had Plymouth and Portsmouth there, and that's been a massive lifesaver, those 2 results. But then we've gone straight back to losing ways again, conceding 4, conceding 5. So I've finally given up, and we are changing the tactic. It's a familiar one. It's basically the tactic that we used before we did the 4-3-1-2 way back down in the National League North. It wasn't that successful down there, but I'm hoping, because it doesn't change the attacking layout of the team massively, we should still continue to score goals whilst having that extra defender in there to help prevent us conceding quite so many. We've also taken some learning points from Non-League to Legend and from my stream save over on Twitch at the moment, where we've done this, and we've taken all team instructions off. It's something we've done a few times before, and it sometimes when you're really struggling, taking all the instructions off seems to just be the nudge that your players need to start playing well again. It's a weird one. And we're also going to start adjusting the tactical mentality prior to each game, taking our assistant manager's advice on board, but not necessarily going all the way with it. My assistant manager wants me to go defensive, highly structured today. I'll compromise at counter and structured. We are at home after all. And this is the team that we're doing. So we've got Mitchell in goal, a back 3 of Hughes, Sawyer and Flores, with Ball making his debut. Phil Ball he's the left back we brought in and expected him to be the one who took Joe Anderson's place in the team. It's actually been Lewis Taylor who's been playing at left back for us for most of this season. Joe Anderson's only played a few games, but Ball is a better wing back, so Ball's going to come in and play wing back on that left hand side. Lang, who is more of a natural wing back than defender really. He's never really liked playing as a fullback for us, mainly because he wants to be a defensive fullback, actually, looking at that. But, he's going to play attacking. Who cares? Get him forward. We've got Ibrahim and Anderson on the bench if we need them. If we decide to abandon this system and go to more conventional fullbacks, we have them both there on the bench if needed. We're then going for Darwin as a box-to-box midfielder alongside Squire Bill in midfield, because he's a natural ball-winning midfielder on support, which is what I want. He's been looking for more game time. He hasn't played ever for us in the Championship, so today's the day for Squire Bill to make himself known. We could have gone with, Lewis. Where is he? Can't even find him. But there was a reason. Oh, Lee, he's not even called Lewis, he's called Lee Davies. We could have gone with him, but he's just not playing very well. He's also a natural ball-winning midfielder. We perhaps should have gone with him. We haven't. We're going to go with Squire Bill, because changes need to be made. Ball and Squire Bill are those 2 changes. And then we're going with Ball in his natural advanced playmaker support role, which he's never really done for us before, but we're trying to get everyone as close to their chosen specialities as possible. And then we're going with Ruggles as defensive forward, because he likes doing it. He's never really done it for us before, alongside Jamie Cairns, who you won't recognise, but he's exploded onto the team in the last couple of games. He's the one who scored the goals that won us those games that we've won recently, and he's a natural poacher. We ain't having poachers in the team, but he's got 3-star current ability, 4.5-star potential, but most importantly has 4 goals from the 3 starts that he's had for us, and they've been the last 3 games that he's played in, and he's averaging an 8.2, so we can't really drop Jamie Cairns. All of which means Dan Fisher doesn't even make the bench. Dan Fisher's had a very disappointing start to the season. I can't even find him. He's played 6 games, not scored a goal yet, and averaging like a 6.2. Very similar to Joe Anderson. A lot of the old guard who played out of their skin last season, playing probably above their level, they're not repeating that this season, and we are having to be a little bit more ruthless than we've been before. Looking through that, there's not many veterans now of the even of the League 1 winning team, never mind the League 2 and the conference teams. There's only really Sawyer I think the Transformers are here. There's only really Sawyer and Ball, I guess. I guess Darwin was in the League 2 team as well. But let's get into the game. Apologies for all the noise in the background. I don't even know what that is. But, you know, recording now, and a pro would stop. Kev's not a pro. What is it? I think it's the bin men. I think the bin men might be here, which is weird because they normally come on a Thursday, which it might even be Thursday for you. I'm recording these in advance. I'm recording this Monday morning because I've got Comic-Con this weekend. I'm away, so I've got to stack up my videos. But I don't know. They seem to have gone now. Right, here's Kearns to Lang. Kearns. I think it is Kearns, not Kearns. I'm going to struggle with that lad's name. He might need a new name. And this is going to be the problem playing with wing-backs. They're going to get in behind us, and they did there. But luckily, we did have that little row of centre-backs there offering some protection. And they just hit it wide. Mitchell's not even looking in the right direction just before he takes that. I give up with that man. Goalkeeper is still a massive, massive problem for us. We did try the youngster for a couple of games, Griffiths, I think his name is. He wasn't any better than Mitchell, and I don't want to break a youngster while we're in bad form. So while we're still averaging like 3 or 4 goals conceded a game, let's keep Mitchell in. And then once we figure out a tactic that looks like it might work, then bring the youngster in so we don't destroy him too young. I realise that's probably counterproductive because he might be a better keeper than Mitchell, but Mitchell's just made a cracking save, actually. And in fact, West Brom have had 2 clear-cut chances now and not scored them. So, I mean, it's not positive that they've had 2 clear-cut chances before we've even had a shot, but we do seem to be actually trying to actively prevent ourselves from conceding for once, which is unusual for us because normally we just roll over and let teams attack us. Remember, West Brom are top of the league. We are supposed to lose today. So if we do manage to, with this counter-attacking system and the extra defender, grind out a 0-0 draw, as boring as that is, when you've conceded 42 goals in 12 games, that would be an incredible achievement against the top of the table team. And we have kept a clean sheet in this first half. If we have a repeat of that, I mean, it'll be a boring season if this is what we have to do. But we've been down this road in non-league to legend this year. Certainly with Leicester, we boringed our way to the Champions League with Leicester by playing really negative football where we just ground out these results and were solid at the back. It's something I am capable of doing. If you only watch this series, you might have never seen me try it, but we are capable of doing it. And, you know, needs must. If it's what we need to do to stay in the Championship this year, we can always go back to being a little bit more attacking next year. An hour in, it's still 0-0. We've only had 1 shot, though, which is just hideous. I hate only having had 1 shot in the first hour of the game. We're at home, for goodness sake. But got to take the context of we're in a relegation battle and they are top of the league. It's Ball now with the chance to whip a crossover. He floats over towards Kearns, who should have scored. That was a massive chance. When you're not going to have very many opportunities in a game, you cannot be missing sitters like that. And now West Brom go at the other end and take the lead. Kearns has a lot to answer for there. It was a massive, massive miss. And there's not much we can do about that. We've been bested by a set piece in the end. And now we have to tweak. Now we're going to have to come at them. And this is where it could all start to go wrong. I'm tempted to sacrifice one of the defenders and just push back to our normal system and have 20 minutes of attack. It seems like an overreaction, though. But we do need a goal. Right, Kearns can come off because he's not played very well. Lee Weaver can come on for him. That's an easy substitution to make straight away. Hughes, I might sacrifice to, but then we've only got Jay Johnson or Richardson. We could have done with having. Who else do we even have in midfield? What's the other fella's name? Monday mornings, I never remember my players' names. The lad who's on loan from Leeds. You all know who he is. I don't remember who he is. I want him, but I think we're going to take off Squire Bill. Having said all that, and bring on Johnson, and just make him a central midfielder. Because he doesn't want to be a ball-winning midfielder, apparently. And we'll just leave it there for now. We're going to go to a flexible mentality as well. We don't want to get too carried away because we might go and grab an equaliser and want to shut up shop again. Because we did really, really well to survive as long as we did without conceding. I think there are definitely positives we can take out of this game, considering how many goals we've conceded this season. To have gone that long against this opposition, keeping a clean sheet and only be beaten by a set piece, when really we should have been 1-0 up at that time. That's all positive stuff. Right, Ball. Big ball forward towards Weaver now. Can Lee Weaver show that he should be starting? He can. Lee Weaver grabs an almost immediate equaliser and then does a cartwheel. It's his 50th goal for Nuneaton. I think it might even be his first of the season. Weaver has not been given a fair crack of the whip. You could probably argue Dan Fisher's in the same situation, but Weaver, unlike Fisher, who's had several of these opportunities, Weaver gets an opportunity, gets on the pitch and grabs a goal immediately, and we need to drop back to counter-attacking again because 1-1 would be massive for us. So back to counter-attacking, back to structured, just see out the game now. 1-1 will be fine, lads. Obviously, if we can find a winner from somewhere deep within ourselves, then I'll take that as well. We are going to take off Ruggles and bring on Symes. Does Weaver want to be a defensive forward? No, Weaver likes to be a target man though, doesn't he? What's a deep line forward? I've never really used that. Be a deep line forward then, Lee, and Symes can go a bit further forward. Right, we have 10 minutes to priority A, not concede, but there is the secret priority B that we're not going to talk about that we all know we want to go and do, which is go and grab a winner. We'll say it quietly. Darwin plays it out to Lang. We've got men in the middle. Lang crosses towards Weaver again. He nods it over to Symes. That's a foul, surely. We've got a penalty. 84 minutes on the clock. We've got a penalty against top of the table West Brom and a chance to go into the lead. It's Johnson to take, and he scores. It's 2-1 to Nuneaton on 84 minutes. The crowd are going nuts as if we've just won the league ourselves. I know it's still early on in the season, but we might be witnessing a turning point here today, boys and girls. Right, tactics, drop even deeper, just contain at this point. Fullbacks, you're going all the way back now. We're doing a flat back five. We just want to defend. We'll now go highly structured. Should we drop ball back into the midfield? We probably should. Get you back in there. Right. Just don't concede, lads. We've got 5 minutes to hold on. Perhaps contain's a bit over the top. Perhaps we should have gone to defensive. But for 5 minutes, surely we can just... The tactical change hasn't even been made. I mean... please ask me if I still want to go ahead, because I don't. Oh, my word. This is... I mean, welcome to my world, boys and girls. What am I supposed to do about that? Cancel pending changes. There we go. Oh, my word. Right. Well, we just go back to the original plan now. We try and not concede again, but they're turning it on now. Well, it's actually been clear-cut chances-wise an even game. We've had 2 clear-cut chances each, 2 goals each. We've played really well against top-of-the-table West Brom today, even if they grab a dirty last-minute winner now, which it looks like they're going to do. Oh, last-ditch defending. Perhaps we should have gone defensive anyway, just to try and cling on to this 2-2, because they are throwing everything at us. And we win the free kick. I didn't know what was going on with Mitchell there, but we win a free kick. We've got 40 seconds to just try and cling on. But at the same time, you know, if we get the opportunity to go forward, lads, let's go forward. Right, Symes nods the ball on. Darwin chasing, but it's this Green guy. He's getting a lot of space. Lang with a good slide tackle, and it's with Symes. We've got 18 seconds, but Weaver can't get there. Hughes now just lumping it forward. I mean, I'm happy with lumping it forward at this stage. Get men in behind the ball, and here comes their goal. I can feel it coming, and I'm going to vomit when it happens. No, it goes wide. Good. 2-2 is a great result. That was a great result. Now, if we can have that performance again against Rochdale, we should be able to beat them. And if we do, I think we move ahead of the KEV ratio, or at least level with it. Maybe. What a result. 3 changes for the Rochdale game. They're not massive stuff going on, just really switching personnel around as needed. I've had to bring in a new guy at right back because what's his face? Why can't I remember names? Lang suspended, so we're giving a debut to Matt Parsons at right wing back. He's a 23-year-old right wing back that we signed in the summer. Only 1.5-star current ability, but does have 4-star potential. He's been at both Man United and Chelsea, so he must have something about him. Hopefully he won't be rubbish. But we're also bringing in Jake Hutchins at the back, who's another one we brought in this summer. 2.5-star current ability, 4.5 star potential. He was at Stoke previously, played a couple of games for us, not been massively impressive so far, but they were only off the bench, and Flores is in some poor form, so Flores can drop out of the team and we'll get a guy in who's here permanently, and hopefully he'll have more of a desire to win. And of course, after coming off the bench to grab the all-important goal in the game against West Brom, we couldn't not start Lee Weaver, so Weaver's starting, Cairns drops down to the bench. Let's get into there's two of them who need match fitness. I know. Squire Bill was probably on his last chance as well, because I think he was helped by the system in the last game, but maybe he would have done even better with slightly different personnel in midfield. So it's the last opportunity for Squire Bill to prove to me that he's going to be a championship player. But, you know, I just feel like he's got the essence of Sir Tom Elliott in him after being tutored by him for so very long, that this is his opportunity to get a little bit of Sir Tom into the team, and it's the only we've been missing Sir Tom. Squire Bill has just got to channel the Sir Tom energy for us, and hopefully he'll do that again today, like presumably he did against West Brom, even though having a poor performance personally. And we've conceded after 8 minutes. We have chosen to go counter-attacking structured again today, even though Rochdale are below us in the league, because I just didn't want to concede a load of goals. But maybe, I don't know, maybe we're going to need to attack. Rochdale are the second worst defence in the league, so what we probably can't do is give them the afternoon off and not attack them. So we'll give it another 5 minutes, and then we're going to go to control, I think, unless we score here. And Weaver was in behind, and Darwin, that's terrible. That's what £1 million buys you. What a disaster spending all that money on Darwin's been. He's got, I mean, unless he just decides to come good now, he has been no replacement at all for Skelton. And yeah, I'm regretting it a little bit at this point. Right, we're just going to go to standard rather than control. We don't want to get too carried away just yet. We will absolutely come out for the second half on control, though, if we haven't equalised by then. And Rochdale are coming at us again. And if we concede again here, this might be the end of the road, because I don't know how we come back from a defeat in this game. Hughes with the tackle, Ball with a big ball forward, looking for Ruggles, and we have conceded again. Surely that's offside. But it's played from so deep, it obviously wasn't. Right, we've got to attack them now. Not only that, I think we're going to have to go to the 4-3. I don't want to see the replay. Just didn't want to see it. We're going to have to go to the 4-3-1-2. We've got to go at him in the second half, surely. Oh, we already went control. Control, flexible. Oh, I don't know what to do. I've backed myself into a corner. Right, we need to give it 5 minutes. I mean, there you go. This is proof that it's time to move me on from the club. I'm being indecisive. I don't know what to do. I'm afraid to make the wrong decision, so I'm making no decision at all. If ever there was a time to sack a manager, if you're the chairman and you're walking on me reacting like I just did there, that's when you know it's time to go. Oh, we've got to find some mental strength and fortitude to fight our way back from this. This is the biggest challenge of Backing the Boro so far, because I'm just lost. I'm absolutely lost and don't know what to do about it. And as it stands right now, we're 4 points away from the KEV ratio, 4 points away from safety. I know we're not even at the halfway point of the season yet, but it's not even the fact that we're in a bit of a ropey situation that's the problem. It's the fact that I don't know how to get out of it that is the big problem. I need a flash of inspiration. I need a player just to step up and be the man. And Ruggles has done exactly that. Ruggles is in and grabs a goal back on 57 minutes. If we can battle our way back into this game and turn this around into a victory, then suddenly I realise that 3 at the back is the way forward, and we perhaps shouldn't have been so negative going into a game against a team in theory we're better than. But come on, remember how we did against West Brom. Do I want to make changes yet? It's probably not the time, although I think Squire Bill probably needs to come off. He's not good enough for this level. Let's get Johnson on in midfield. Let's do what we did with him in the last game. Just make him, in fact, we could make him a deep line playmaker if he likes doing that. We could do that. Let's do that. And just try and get the ball forward a little bit more. We need a little bit more creativity, a little bit more attacking onus. Right, Mitchell with a big lump forward towards Ruggles, but it's absolutely nowhere near him. A Ball picks it up and plays it towards Ruggles, and Ruggles can't quite get there, and it's Ball again to Darwin. He's trying to find the other ball. There's the other ball. Finds Weaver, and back to ball number 2. And Weaver's in, and Weaver scores again. Lee Weaver is single-handedly trying to keep us in the Championship. Lee Weaver has decided, after a bit of a year off last year, that he's going to be the Lee Weaver who got us here by just starting to turn on the form again. Weaver's second goal of the episode, second goal in 2 games. It's a lovely cross from Darwin. Actually, I gave Darwin a little bit of stick early on, but that was beautiful from Darwin. Right onto the head of Weaver. We leave control on. We absolutely leave control on. And we're going to try and win this game now. We've got half an hour left to try and win it. And let's do exactly that. Right, tactics. James Ball not having the best of games. Mind you, the whole defence is playing poorly. But so what's my priority? Hutchins has been awful. So we're going to take him off and bring Flores on. That's an experiment that didn't work. I'm going to give James Ball 5 minutes before we bring Richardson on in behind the front 2. Just to see if he can pick the lock a little bit better than Ball has. I think Ball's getting confused that there's another fella with the same name as him on the pitch. Right, Richardson comes on. Go on, Richardson. Come on there, make a difference. Show us why Phil Ball is going to be ball number 1 for the rest of the season, because Richardson's going to push James Ball out of the team. Come on, lads, 5 minutes to go. A draw was great against West Brom. Not so great in this game, although dragging it back from the clutches of defeat is good, but oh, oh my word, I bring Flores on and he does that. That might be the last you ever see of Flores, because that is just a joke. And we're now going to lose against Rochdale. Mitchell saves it! I told you our goalkeepers were all good, and Mitchell's the pick of the bunch. Oh, I thought he was going to drop that one into his net. Right, we've now got 2 minutes to go and grab a winner at the other end. This is an emotional roller coaster today. Come on now, let's grab a winner. Weaver can't get onto the end of it. Weaver's played as a target man for us for so long and can't win headers. Sawyer forward towards Weaver, but this time he's not chasing it again, and they do grab their winner. So we save the penalty and we still get kicked in the teeth. This game is horrible. Football Manager is just cruel. It gives you hope and then tears it away. How often do we see that? And it was a poor ball forward from Sawyer. It was straight down the middle, but not hard enough to make it into their half. Richardson can't chase it. Weaver's not dropping deep enough. Ruggles isn't dropping deep enough. And all in all, it was just a shambles. And I mean, look how far Richardson's doing back heels and Mark Darwin's doing stupid back passes. I don't think those two morons, they're morons, both of them. I don't think either of those morons realise the real trouble that we're in at the moment, because we've just lost at home to one of the few teams that we probably were banking on a win against. And now we find ourselves, 13, 14 games into the season, 14 games in on only 10 points. There is a gap forming above us. There is a 5-point gap now between us and Ipswich outside of the relegation zone, and I'm starting to get afraid. Perhaps 5-3-2 is not the answer, because yes, it was good against West Brom. That was total turd. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.